discussed quite extensively, given that we knew from the very onset that the aircraft in question, an Air India Express Boeing 737-800, had landed in windy and rainy conditions in Kozhikode more than halfway down the runway and appeared to be unable to stop. Now the crash report, which is officially out, confirms that, and I'll just read out the operative part of that crash report. It says the probable cause of accident was the non-adherence to standard operating procedures by the pilot flying, in other words, the pilot in command, in this particular case, the pilot in the left-hand seat, wherein he continued an unstabilized approach and landed beyond the touchdown zone halfway down the runway in spite of a go-around call by the pilot monitoring. In other words, he'd been warned by the co-pilot. This warranted a mandatory go-around. In other words, he should have aborted the takeoff and should have just continued down the runway, taken off again and made another attempt to land. And the failure of the pilot monitoring, in other words, the pilot who was actually saying go around, to take over controls and execute a go around. So in this, they've blamed both the pilot in command and the pilot monitoring. The pilot flying was the commander of the aircraft, and in very simple terms, this says that the touchdown point in the runway was more than halfway down the length of the runway. There was an alert sounded by the co-pilot telling the pilot in command to go around, but the pilot in command did not, in fact, adhere to that. In that situation, according to this document, the standard operating procedure would have been for the co-pilot, on the basis of his warning to go around, to take over controls and then perhaps proceed to